Business closing and a topsy-turvy stock market add stress on top of coronavirus concerns, and some economists say it could get even worse. Marc Horner is the founder of Fairhaven Wealth Management. He joins us now to talk about the financial meltdown happening around the world. Marc, thank you so much for joining us tonight. First of all, they're talking about Great Depression level unemployment, but this is different from an actual depression. Could there be a likelihood, I should say, of going into a depression because of this?
Yeah, and I think the Chairman Powell's comments from the Fed today, he touched on what I believe is staying on the current course is got us pointed in that direction, in his opinion. And I think reading between the lines on some of the comments that he made, he's urging our leaders in Washington to think about adding more nuanced response, which I think your newscast tonight is touching on all these points. What's going on in local communities and individual businesses making decisions about going back to work and doing it safely. So I think the chairman's asking for just more thoughtful policies out of Washington, in addition to all the stimulus that's coming down the road.
So there was hope that we would see a V recovery, sort of a quick out. But the fear here is that as more people lose their jobs, they're not going to be spending money, and that will lead to even more businesses perhaps closing. That seemed to be what Chairman Powell was alluding to today, correct?
I think you're absolutely right. I don't know that the V recovery that people were talking about more so 2 or 3 weeks ago. I've heard much less talk about that. It's transitioned to a Nike swoosh recovery is the more common term now.
Can investing help with this, or is more stimulus package helpful? A larger stimulus package helpful? What can help get this going again?
So I think where we are, it's all oars pulling to help us. So I do believe that the stimulus efforts that have been done, and now we're talking about $3 trillion in the HEROES Act, that's important. But I think it's also important to change the narrative from we're either saving lives or we're just focused on money. And there's an answer in between there. Where different regions of the country are dealt with differently. Different businesses are encouraged to open using safe guidelines, but this shut down the economy until we get a vaccine is just not a path that's going to work for a large part of the country.
Yeah, and on that note, it seems, I guess, yet to be seen just how comfortable the majority of people are going out to eat, flying again. Is what happens here on a slow rollout enough, in your opinion, to help the economy?
So you're touching on phase 2 of the rollout. So let's pretend that they just unlocked the country on Monday. I have a very hard time believing that restaurants are going to be full, bars are going to be full, parks are going to be full, because there's been so much fear that's been sown into all of our fabric. It's going to take some time to unwind that. So first step is, in my opinion, getting the economy thoughtfully open, striking a balance between economics and health, and then it's going to take some time for that fear to dissipate.
Just to go back on what you said a minute ago, you said the answer is between saving lives and opening up the economy. And it sounds to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, you think everybody should be on the same page in the country?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I don't mean that. I don't mean
Okay.
that at all. I would agree. I would completely agree with the comments made earlier in the newscast that people in downstate Illinois, smaller towns in Illinois, I think it's perfectly reasonable to treat them differently than the people in Chicago. That makes perfect sense to me. And so that's more what I mean by a nuanced response from both our national and our local leadership, to not treat us all the same, to recognize that there's geographic differences. It seems the data supports that the virus affects different people of different ages differently, health patterns, and so to add some nuance so that we're not just painting the country with one broad brush.
I see. All right, Marc Horner, thank you so much, founder of Fairhaven Wealth Management. Be safe, be well.